Hello to all traders and welcome back to another market review brought to you by Orbex. So we're seeing now that oil is spiking towards $85 in the last few hours. We've heard that Qatar's energy minister saying that oil could actually go up to $150 a barrel if the Iranian conflict continues into the year, if it isn't over in the planned 4 to 5 weeks that Donald Trump has stated. If we do see more of a supply concern, then naturally we'll have more of a push on the prices of oil. Inflationary pressures as well going into the news, because we are seeing now that global inflation is set to pop up as well if we do have more and more of this rhetoric of we have a plan but we don't know when it's going to end and how it's going to end as well, if it is ever going to end. So oil naturally is the main mover in the last few trading sessions since Monday. As you can see, if we look on the chart, on the intraday chart, first of all, we're seeing this gap in price action naturally on Monday's open and then climbing up from roughly $70 to $85. So $15 in 5 days is quite remarkable. And if we go back on the daily chart, just going back to when we saw these previous prices, and it's going back to April of last year, so April of 2024. So a multi-year high at the moment, and not really looking likely that it's going to calm down anytime soon. The last time naturally we saw this big move on the market is when the Ukrainian and Russia conflict began. That was in February and March of 2022. So as you can see here, massive pop in price action, and then another one because obviously it kept on going, but since then we've been a little bit subdued on the daily chart, having this descending price channel for the time being. But now we're just breaking very vastly out of that particular zone and now shooting higher. As I said, $15 in just a few short sessions is quite remarkable. So on the 4-hour chart, where can we go next? Well, obviously 90 is the next psychological target, and that's not really out of the question. Only if we get some good news that there are some peace talks going on, or there is a kind of light at the end of the tunnel for this particular conflict, will we see oil prices calming down. If we look on a technical aspect, we're seeing now a bit of a strong bearish divergence coming into play on the charts, but is that enough to slow things down? Because this bearish divergence has been in play for a few sessions, and obviously we haven't seen any chance or any signs of oil slowing down anytime soon. So this is what we're currently looking at the moment. Quick look on gold as well, a bit subdued. All we're looking at the moment is that if we're going to have a hold at the psychological 5,000 level, which was tested recently, as you can see, a little bit of a false spike there a few days ago, but since then pretty much consolidated, and now we are looking forward to the NFP, which is shortly later today when the American session opens. Will that be enough to really affect gold and the dollar after everything that's going on at the moment? We'll have to wait and see, but naturally, and as always, we'll bring you all the latest in big fundamental news events. If the NFP is a surprise and there, another 200,000 jobs are added, then that's looking likely to shake the markets quite significantly. Could sink the gold below 5,000 for the time being. But the last few NFPs haven't really been non-performers, basically, so we're not really looking to have anything really to sink our teeth into in terms of price action. We're just looking basically what the next fundamental headline is coming out of the Middle Eastern conflict, and obviously we'll bring you all the latest in fundamentals and the technicals as they come. So stick with us, stay ahead, trade responsibly, and have a great weekend ahead. Bye for now.